skandadharō dhuryō varadō vāyuvāhanaḥ vāsudēvō bṛhadbhānurādidēvaḥ purandharaḥ.
Skandaḥ. Skandaḥ is one of the names of the sons of Lord Shiva. Shivaputra is known as Kartikeya, Muruga, Subramanya. One of his names is Skanda. So therefore, Skanda over here represents Subramanya for us. So all are Narayana only. Though we say Vaishnavism and Shaivism and Shiva, Shiva Puja and Vishnu Puja, different, all of them are actually one and the same. So in the Vishnu Sahasranama, we find names of Shiva and Shiva's family coming in. Similarly, in Shiva Sahasranama, we will find Vishnu's name coming in over there. And when we go to Devi Lalita Sahasranama, we will find Shiva's name and Vishnu's names coming in feminine form. Vaishnavi, like that it will be. Shiva, Dirga, Shive. So all are one. It's just that according to our comfort, according to our constitution, we choose whatever name form we want to hold on to as our support. And of course, the name and the form will be with qualities, characteristics. Each one will have different qualities and characteristics, our deities, and stories and incidents about them. So here Bhagavan is identifying himself with Shivakumara over here, Skandaḥ. So directly it represents Subramanya. See, Subramanya, Brahman, means the nameless, the formless, the Nirguna aspect. Advaita philosophy over here. So when we add to anything, it qualifies that Brahman-tva. So Brahman. So who is so Brahman? It is Brahman itself, which we are all supposed to be, which represents for us the state of immortality, the state of enlightenment, mukti, moksha, etc. So that is what Skanda represents for all of us. And Skanda it's himself also. Again in the 10th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Sena Nina Maham Skandaḥ. I am the commander-in-chief of the celestial army. So everybody has an army. The Rakshasas have their army. Over here in Martyaloka, in the terrestrial plane, kings are there. They have their own armies. How many ever kings are there? Armies will be there. And army those days was all 4 aspects were there. Those who ride in chariots, those soldiers on elephants, those mounted on horses, and the foot soldiers. 4 types. So Chaturbhala Sainya. So and then of course the celestial army was there. So every army will have its own commander-in-chief, the topmost boss. So for all commander-in-chief, there is one commander-in-chief. There are so many companies, there are so many CEOs. Bhagavan is the CEO of all CEOs. He is the one who manages, controls, regulates, rules over the whole world. So he is the CEO of the world. Similarly, he is the commander-in-chief of all commander-in-chiefs. So therefore, and Bhagavan identifies himself with Skanda over there. So Skanda, Subramanya is the commander-in-chief of the army of the Devatas. So he is identifying himself over there and he says, I am the commander-in-chief. So this means that he is the head of the army, and what is the army supposed to do? It's supposed to protect us. It's supposed to annihilate and destroy all the negative aspects. The asuras, the rakshasas have to be killed so that the suras, the devatas are safe. So not only outside, that's what all our Puranas are about. Rakshasas are there, so many of them. And they and their armies always fight with human beings, fight with the devatas. Somebody must be there to completely destroy them all. We have Skanda over there as the commander-in-chief, leading the army of the virtuous, of the Devatas. And we know every time the Devatas win a victory over the Rakshasas. Why? The Devatas stand for Satya. The Devatas stand for Dharma. Rakshasas on the other hand stand for adharma, asatya. So it's always satyameva jayate. Finally, who will win? It will be difficult. It will take a long time. But still, ultimately, victory will be always for the one who is on the side of dharma and truth. That's what it means. So we are told when Tarakasura was there and Subramanya was fighting, the battle went on and on and on and on. Finally, Skanda was able to kill Tarakasura. So finally it did happen, but it takes a long time. So that is outside, external. So internally also we have so many Rakshasas in us sitting down. It's not that they were outside or they were there once upon a time. Ravana is there, Kumbhakarna is there. How much we eat and how much we sleep. If we put it all together, I think we may be sleeping more than Kumbhakarna and eating more than Kumbhakarna. Only thing is he did it all together. But we are all doing it with breaks. So Kumbhakarna is there, Ravana is there, Kamsa is there, Hiranyakashipu is there, Hiranyaksha is there. Hiranyaksha, eye for gold, means eye for materialism. Hiranyakashipu, clothed in materialism, who said Hiranyaya Namaha should be the mantra, not Narayanaya Namaha. Which means it is like saying Goldaya Namaha. Sheer materialism. Is it not there in all of us in small quantities, in our families, in our society? It's there. So all the Rakshasas are there within us also. Therefore we have to invoke whom? We have to invoke Skanda to come and destroy all the Rakshasas who are there in us. So we have to invoke him. Skanda or Subramanya. And he has got, very beautiful, he's got 2 wives. One name of the 2 wives are, his consorts are Devasena and Valli. Devasena belonged to the celestial world. Valli belonged to the terrestrial plane. So all these stories have got so much to indicate to us. So therefore they both, and they are on either side of him. So there are different interpretations in the context. If he represents Jnana Shakti, there are 3 Shaktis: Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti and Kriya Shakti. Jnana Shakti is the power of knowledge, the strength of knowledge. Ichha Shakti, the power of willing and wishing good things, not the wrong things like Rakshasas. Ichha Shakti. Because without desire, we can never be motivated to do anything. So, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti is the power of motivation to do actually in the field of activity. All the 3 we need. We need knowledge. We need to have a will and a wish to do something. Unless we have a desire to have a cup of coffee, why will we go to the kitchen? Anything it can be. Unless we have a desire to go and buy something, why will we step outside the door? So Ichha, and then of course the field of activity wherein we are doing our activity, karma there. All the 3 of them should be well integrated into our system. That's what Dasharatha represents. Ratha means chariot. Dasha means 10. What are the 5 plus 5, 10? 5 sense organs of perception, the Jnanendriyas. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue, skin. And the other 5 are the organs of action, Karmendriyas. Mouth, speech, hands, legs, a reproductory system and the excretory system. All these 5 plus 5, 10 of them well integrated in a person. Chariot means body chariot. Means all of them well controlled is Dasharatha. Introverted person. Spiritual. All the 10 facing outward, extremely extroverted is Dashamukha, the opposite of Dasharatha. So he is right down in the south. Dasharatha is there way up in the north. We are not talking North India, South India. That way, geographically no. North always means higher. South means lower, that's all it means. And Dasharatha had 3 wives, complete significance of Ramayana. That itself is a topic by itself. He has 3 wives, Kausalya, Kaikeyi and Sumitra. Kausalya represents Jnana Shakti, Kaikeyi represents Ichha Shakti, And Sumitra represents Kriya Shakti. There what happened, the Icha Shakti did a small little miss. She was very good in the beginning. Somewhere something happened. Mantra came. She was very good. She loved Rama more than her own son Bharata. Rama himself says that. But somebody came and poisoned her. Mant means to churn. Somebody came and disturbed her. Mantara came and disturbed her. Therefore it went wrong. These are all for us to reflect on, so that in our lives we will not make mistakes and we will walk the right path. So that was Ramayana. Here over here, Devasena and Valli. Devasena is supposed to be the daughter of Indra. We won't go into the story part. Valli was, both of them are foster daughters. It's not, Devasena is not the real daughter of Indra. He brought her up. Similarly, there was a hunter in the forest and he brought up Valli. Valli therefore represents the terrestrial plane and Devasena represents the celestial plane. Both of them, which means spirituality and materialism, both of them we should be able to align them properly in our lives now. Integrate them properly and then walk the path. So therefore, we have both of them on either side of Shanmukha. So if Devasena, he represents Jnana, Devasena represents Icha Shakti and Valli represents Kriya Shakti. So differently, or she both, if he represents Brahman, Subramanya is, they both represent over here Bhukti and Mukti. Mukti means higher. Nothing like higher, lower, but then Bhukti means the enjoyments, the pleasures and the happiness which are on a terrestrial plane. So that is represented by Valli. Devasena represents Mukti. Bhukti and Mukti, there are so many beautiful kirtans or even stotras where we say Bhagavan gives to us both Mukti and Mukti. Both of them are Shaktis. It's like that. So one represents the terrestrial, one represents the celestial. Both of them should very beautifully align themselves within us. That's why for balance they are both on either side of him. One represents the material pursuits and success and fulfillment for us. One represents the spiritual success and fulfillment for us. Both should be balanced. So if we invoke him, both of them will be there. All the three of them will be with us. So skandaḥ, Subramanya. Very powerful. Again, he represents spirituality. In many of the temples, instead of a deity of Subramanya as such, we have him in the form, we worship him in the form of a serpent. Serpent represents the spiritual energy in us, which they call as Kundalini Shakti. We won't go into the details of all that. So he represents spirituality for us. So very, very powerful deity, Skanda. So Bhagavan says, I am Skanda. Next one is skandadharā. One who did dharana of skanda, means one who is the cause of skanda. Who is the cause of skanda? Shiva, Parameshvara. So here in Vishnu Sahasranama we have Bhagavan telling us, I am Shiva and I am Shiva Putra also. I am both of them. So where is the question of Shiva being different from Vishnu and Vishnu being different from Shiva? All of them are one and the same. It's just different names that we are giving over here to the same reality. One reality, different names. So he says, I am Shiva and I am Shiva Putra also. So skandadharā. I am the one who is Lord Subramanya's father. There is a very beautiful story also. Why we call Skanda as Guru. One of his name, Guru Guha. We call him Guru because he became the Guru of his father also. So once there was a small little incident is there. When Brahma came to visit Shiva in Kailasa, Subramanya did not acknowledge him the way he should acknowledge. So Brahma became very, very angry. Shiva Putra did not acknowledge me. I am very, very senior. I am the creator. So then there was a small little, debate, something like that. And then Subramanya said, well, if you, I will ask you a question and you should give me back the answer. And if you can give me the answer to my question, then I will acknowledge you and I will revere you and respect you as you are supposed to be respected and revered. So what is it? He said, ask. He said, I want to know the meaning of significance of Om. Can you tell me what is the significance of Om? We all have Om, Om, Om. We have heard it. We play it also in our house. And we have Om pendants. Everywhere we have Om. We are so familiar with it. And we say Om represents Bhagavan. That's it. But what is Om? He said, I want you to give me the significance of Om. We are told Brahma could not. Then Shiva was there. He said, my son, you asked him a question a question as to what is the significance of Om. Do you know? Subramanya said, yes, I know. So Shiva said, okay, will you give it out to me? He wanted to know whether Subramanya knows about it. He said, how can I give it out to you like that? Only a guru gives out the significance of Om to the students. So if you want me to give to you the knowledge of Om and its significance, you have to consider me as your guru and you have to become my shishya. So Shiva said yes. So Shiva sat down, and then Subramanya was at a higher level, and then he imparted to Shiva the significance of Om. And therefore he became Shiva's guru also. That is why we address him as guru. There are so many kirtans on Subramanya written by especially Muthuswami Dikshitar, one of the Carnatic musician trinity, who has written so many songs on Subramanya, and he calls him guru. In fact, his signature is Guru Guha. Muthuswami Dikshitar's kirtan. At the end, we find the name Guru Guha over there. That is what tells us, oh, this kirtan is by Muthuswami Dikshitar. So he is called as Guru Guha. And there's a temple of his also in Swami Malai. Swami Malai it is. So he is on top there, on top of, we have to climb up a few steps to have his darshan. Shiva is down over there. So he who became the guru of Shiva himself. It's very beautiful stories. These are all for us. Skandadharā. And also skandadharā means dhara means to do dharana, to support. What does he support? He supports dharma. He is a personification of dharma, and also he is one, not just a personification of dharma and one who knows dharma, he is a follower of dharma also, and he protects and upholds dharma. Who? Subramanya. That's why he is considered as a very, very powerful deity. Nothing short of dharma. He represents for us, stands for dharma. So it's like dharma walking on 2 feet. Not only the theory part, but the practical part also. He is. So Skandadharā. It is Skanda who actually came, and because just now I talked about Muthuswami Dikshitar. So it's very beautiful. He was there. He belongs to the south, from Tamil Nadu. He went with his guru up to Kashi. The guru came to their house. So always they say at the right time the guru enters our life. So at the right time the guru entered their house, and he saw Dikshitar, Muthuswami Dikshitar, one of the children of the parents over there, very bright. There was a glow on his face. He asked the father, can I take him with me? I will train him up. I will give to him all the knowledge that he needs to know. The father said yes. Imagine those days. So from here the guru and the shishya went up to Kashi, and the guru gave him all the knowledge that he is supposed to know. And after that he said, now you can go back. Then Dikshitar asked him, Sir, how do you know that I know everything? That I have understood everything that you have told? Because very often we are in the class, we sit over there, we hear the teacher, and afterwards we wouldn't have understood anything. Physics, maths, anything it can be. So how do you know, sir, that my Vidyabhyasa at your feet has been completed, has been fulfilled? How do I know? Because you are saying go back. So he said, just go to Ganga. In Kashi, Ganga is there. Ask her whatever you want. And if you get what you want, that means the knowledge has got completely fulfilled in you. Dikshit, they come from a musician family. So he went to Ganga, we are told, and then took a dip over there and asked mother for a veena. Ganga came up, it took a form, and then brought up from the waters a beautiful veena and gave it to Dikshitar's hand. And that veena is still there in their ancestral home down in the south. It's not like the normal veenas. In the normal veena, we have that, the end part facing down. In this veena, it is facing up. So it's very, very unique. And Rama is written over there because Kashi is associated with Vishwanatha and with Rama. Rama is written on that. That veena is still there. So Dikshitar used to play on that veena. Then he brought a veena. He was coming back. He came up to Tirutani, one of the famous abodes. Of the 6 abodes of Subramanya, one of the abodes, Tirutani. He was sitting on the steps over there. One old man came walking down the steps. And then he told him, open your mouth. I have prasad, I have brought it. So Dikshitar opened his mouth and he put some sugar candy into his mouth and disappeared. We are told Subramanya himself came in that form, in the form of an old person, blessed him and put the sugar candy prasad in his mouth and then disappeared. Immediately the first song that came out of Dikshitar is on Guru Guha, on Subramanya. That is why his signature also is Guru Guha. Lots of songs he has written on Subramanya. I remembered, and in the context, skandaḥ, skandadharō. So not only skandadharō means Shiva, but it also means one who upholds Dharma, one who supports it. If Dharma is coming down, there somebody must be there to revive it back. Who will do it? Skanda will do it. Dhuryō, the next one. Dhuryō means one who looks after, one who accomplishes whatever has to be accomplished. Duties and responsibilities are well taken care of. Such a person is called dhuryō. In our case, neither we are worried about duties nor we are worried about responsibilities. What are we worried about? We are only worried about rights. My rights. What about your duties? Don't tell me about my duties, my rights. This is as a citizen of this country, I have these rights must come to me. So I have joined this institution or whatever it is, my right is over the salary. Are you doing your duty? Are you fulfilling your responsibilities and teaching the children? Don't ask me all those things. How many of us are doing that? So Bhagavan is not like that at all. So dhuryō means he carries forth. He who created carries forth also the task of maintaining, nurturing and nourishing. Dasura is written, Huttisidavano, the one who has created us and put us on the surface of the earth, you think he will just leave us like that? Somehow he will take care of us. It's a very nice song. Immediately I am not getting it. The Kannada Devarnama. He will not leave us. Anybody can leave us, but he will not leave us. So he makes sure that everything gets carried forth. Everything should be, he created a beautiful world. He fixed up seasons over there. Now he carries it forth. Dakshinayana is over, Uttarayana has come. Who carried it forth? Did we do it? No. Bhagavan made sure that Uttarayana started the day it should start. Not a day earlier, not a day later on. Next Ratha Saptami will come. When Surya Bhagavan may pick up momentum. And that will be the first sign of winter going and spring coming. Spring has not yet come. So somebody has to carry forth. Spring must come and then the next season must come and the next season must come. At the right times the rain should come. Everything has to be very beautifully managed. It should be carried forward. Who is the one who carries forward everything? Bhagavan is the one who carries forward everything. 9 months we were in the mother's womb. Afterwards somebody, what is it that made us come out? If the mother was given a choice, maybe she should have said tomorrow, day after tomorrow, after 1 week. Why? Because there is a wedding in the house. But somebody is there to carry forth. And then when we came out as an infant, who carried forth everything? How did we grow up slowly? How did we grow up in the womb? How did we grow up outside? And from when a seed sprouts, the entire thing has to be carried forward, and then finally a big tree must come out, trunk, branches, sub-branches, leaves, flowers, fruits. Who carries forward everything? Bhagavan is the one who carries forth. When we sit down and think of all these things, then we will know all the wonders and the glories that are there around us and about us in nature. And we are also a part of nature. So one who carries forth, that is also one of the meaning. And also duties and responsibilities. For us, no duties, no responsibilities, only rights. That is what human beings have come down to now. Gurudev used to say, no, duty is first. No, rights will come later on. First duties and responsibility. And so beautifully Bhagavan tells us in the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. If you can completely surrender on to me with full faith and devotion, he says, you become my responsibility and I will fulfill duties towards you, my responsibilities towards you. Bhagavan takes it on himself. Yoga Kshemam, he doesn't say Dadamyaham. Dadami means I will give to you. He never said I will give you yoga and kshema. Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham. I take on to my shoulders the responsibility of your yoga and kshema. There's an ocean of a difference between saying I give to you and I take on. Taking on means the burden is mine, it's not yours. Giving means we are still doubtful whether it will come to us or not. Lord said he will give, but I do not know whether he will give. But Bhagavan says, he never says I will give. He says I have taken it on my shoulders. Your responsibility has become my responsibility now. Of what? Yoga and Kshema. What does yoga and Kshema mean? Kshema means all that we already have in our lives up till now. Everything. Inner assets and outer assets have to be maintained, looked after, protected. Bhagavan says, I will do it. Memory should be looked after, otherwise we will forget everything. Everything I will look, we feel we are looking after everything. Bhagavan is looking after everything through us or through somebody else he uses somebody as a medium or an instrument. But actually everything is being looked after only by him, maintained by him, nurtured and nourished by him. So Kshema means all that we have in our lives. It has to be maintained, looked after, protected. Bhagavan says, that's my responsibility. Yoga means whatever we don't have in our lives right now, which we want in our lives. Maybe we are in a rented house, now we want a own house, ownership. Or we are in a 2 BHK, we want a 3 BHK. We have a 2-wheeler, now we want a 4-wheeler. Yoga, I'm just giving simple examples. Means it's not there in my life right now, but I want it in my life. But for that we have to put in effort, right effort. Bhagavan says that also I will give to you. That is yoga. They are both technical terms which suggest both these. And all our life is only in these two fields, working out only in these two fields. Either we are protecting whatever we have, or we are putting in our effort to get what we don't have in our lives now. Bhagavan says both of them I will not look, both of them become my responsibility, provided you completely surrender on to me. So yoga and Kshema, Bhagavan look after. So it becomes all his responsibility and his duty. And how does he discharge it and fulfill it? He beautifully fulfills it and discharges it. He just became a charioteer to Arjuna. He did not lift even one weapon. Nothing. He just was the driver. He was sitting in the driver's seat of Arjuna. The entire battle was won by whom? By Krishna, not by Arjuna. Bhagavan made sure that the battle proceeded and whatever should happen also happened. And finally, who should win? The one who is on the side of truth and the one who is on the side of dharma. So dhurya, these are all so powerful, small little words, but they are so powerful and they communicate something phenomenal for all of us. If we sit down and think about it, dhurya. So it means Bhagavan looks after our duties and responsibilities. Varada, vara means boons. Da means to give. So Varada. In Kanchi we have Varadaraja Perumal. So therefore the one who gives to us or blesses his devotees whenever we invoke him and gives to us whatever we need. Again there we can ask for so many things. Gurudev used to say, you will not get what you desire, but you will get what you deserve. So we should know what to ask for also. There is nothing wrong in desiring, but have we put in the right effort? And not from our standpoint right effort. Bhagavan has to feel that we are putting the right effort. So there are so many things which go into the calculation part for the final outcome or for the final product which we call the karma pala. But Bhagavan will give to us, Varada. So Varada means one who gives to us. Varada Mudra is always the palm facing down. Bhagavan will always be shown with the two palms. One is fingers pointing up, one will be fingers pointing down. When the fingers are pointing up, it means Abhaya Asta. Don't worry, I am there. It's called Abhaya Mudra. And the one where the fingers are pointing down is called Varada Mudra. When we give like this. Higher to the lower. So Varada Hasta. Lord Venkateshwara has got a Varada Hasta over there. Mudra over there. Fingers are pointing down. So that is called as Varada Hasta. Bhagavan always gives to us. He blesses us and gives to us whatever we want in our lives. Vara also means Shrestha, the best. So Varadaha means he is the one who, he is the one who gives the best to us. Two meaning. Not only he just gives. What is it that he gives to us? He gives to us the best. He gives to us just what we need. Not less, not more. Why? We are so dear to him. So that's also, we can bring in that word also over there. Varadaha. Vāyuvāhanaḥ. Vāhana means vehicle. So vāyuvāhanaḥ means one who controls vehicle. When we sit in the vehicle and when there is a driver over there, he is controlling the whole movement of that vehicle, including who are all sitting inside. We are but helpless. Wherever the driver takes us, we have to go there. So Vāyuvāhanaḥ means one who controls Vayu Bhagavan. Earlier in the previous stanza we had seen Pranaha, Pranadaha. So we won't go through it again. This is what it means. Vāyuvāhanaḥ. So he is the one who controls, regulates, moves, force behind air. Air not stationary, air in motion. Air stationary will not be good for us also at all, not beneficial for us at all. Air in motion is Vayu. So when we say air in motion, immediately winds will come in. Different types of winds are categorized and given different names. Gentle breeze, one name. Technical names are there. We won't go into air twisters. Here in India we don't see much of air twisters. In the US, air twisters. So how the moving air is coming, at what speed, or let's say wind, what speed, from what direction it is coming, what all it can do to us, beneficial or otherwise. It can be constructive and destructive. Cosmic phenomenal forces have both air, water and fire. They all have their advantages and their disadvantages. They have their constructive aspect and their destructive aspects also. So depending on all of them, they have been given different names. Maruts. Marut is one of the names of Vayu Bhagavan. So Vayu's son, wind god's son, therefore we call Hanumanji Maruti. So Bhagavan is all Maruts. All types of wind, however we can classify them, or they are classified, Bhagavan says, I am all of them. Why? I control them, I regulate them, I make all the winds move. They have to move. Air must move. If we have something in front of us and we wanted to move something very light, we We do that. Blow air from our mouth. Air has to be blown. Made to move. Who is the force behind air? It is Bhagavan himself. So vāyuvāhanaḥ, again from the gentlest breeze, wherein the leaves are just shaking a little, up to the air twisters, the storms, all of them we have to put together. All of them are included in vāyuvāhanaḥ. Next nama of Bhagavan is vāsudēvāḥ. We have already seen, I think earlier when we did Vasuhu, we went through it very elaborately. The same thing, I'll just briefly do. Vāsudēvāḥ. Deva means Lord. So Vāsudēvāḥ, one is, the direct meaning is he is the son of Vasudeva. Vasudeva's son was called Vasudeva. That's the direct meaning. Vasu means wealth. All wealth put together. Materialistic wealth, spiritual wealth, all are wealth. Knowledge is wealth, health is wealth, character is wealth, strength is wealth. All assets put together. It stands for Vasu. So Lord of all wealth. Mother Earth, Vasundhara we call Vasu. He is the Lord of her, consort of Bhudevi. So therefore he is called Vāsudēvāḥ. Vasu means seasons. Season means time. In time seasons come and go. So Lord of time. Seasons also. There are 6 seasons outside, 2 seasons inside. 8 seasons are there. 6 seasons, every 2 months is one season. Outside. Climate. Nature's climate. 2 climates inside. Our mental climate are 2. Okay climate, not okay climate. 6 plus 2. Outer climate plus inner climate. He is the Lord of all of them. Therefore we call him as Vāsudēvāḥ. Vasu also means equipment. Vasamsi, clothes. That word comes from Vasu. So one who has got clothing on him. What clothing? He is there inside us. We are supposed to be he himself. But there are clothing outside. What are the clothing? The body clothing, the mind clothing and the intellect clothing. All of them are equipment or clothing around Narayana who is there inside us. So he who is wrapped up in clothing and he is living inside there, one who is dwelling in all the physical equipment of all living people. Therefore he is called as Vāsudēvāḥ. So he is dwelling in everybody, and also he who allows everything to dwell in him. Vasa iti. We say, where are you staying? I am staying in this house. Means I am dwelling in this house. Where are we all dwelling in? We are all dwelling in a big house called him, Bhagavan. He is the money for all of us. He is the house. Parandhama is. Dhamma means abode, house. Universal house. What is the universal house? It's he himself. So he dwells in everything and in every being, and he allows everything and every being to dwell in him. Therefore he is called as Vasudeva. There are so many meanings. So Lord of Prakriti. Like I said, we had already gone through it earlier also. So Vāsudēvāḥ. bṛhadbhānuh. Bṛhat means many. Huge, large number. Bṛhadbhānurādidēvaḥ Upanishad. Huge it is. So Bṛhat always means large, vast, expansive. Bhanu means that which gives light to us. Ba means light. So here the sources of light for us is the sun and the moon. So bṛhadbhānuh means sun has got endless rays. It gives light and heat to us. Moon also has got endless rays. It also gives its light, cool it is. But what about the heat part? Coolness it gives. If this is hot, that is cold. And sun's rays give to us a different nutritive value, vitamin E and all those things. Sorry, vitamin D and various things. The sun's rays are very good and beneficial for us. Similarly, moon's rays are also very beneficial for all of us. First of all, it fixes up the nutritive value in all the food. So starting from vitamin A up to vitamin Z, and then the carbohydrate quantity, the protein content, the calcium, the magnesium, the zinc, the iron, the phosphorus, the iodine, everything that is there in the food that we take is fixed up by the moon's rays. So moon's rays give to us all of that. And we are told every full moon day, full moon day, full moon day, they say just go out and bathe in the moonlight. It does something phenomenal to all of us. Very, very beneficial and very, very healing are the moon's rays. It also has a beautiful light. So light part is there and the beneficial part is also there. The heat or the cold part also is there. And how many rays are there? We can't count. Can we count the number of rays that are coming from the sun or from the moon? In fact, the sun and the sun's rays are inseparable. The moon and the moon's rays are inseparable. So therefore, bṛhat means endless. We can't count them. And it proceeds in all directions. Where is it that the sun's rays are not there, are not grazing? Where is there a place where the moon's rays are not touching down or grazing and doing whatever they are supposed to do? So bṛhadbhānurādidēvaḥ means the one who possesses so many rays, means the sun plus the moon put together, and who therefore we are benefited by it. So Bhagavan says, I am not only the sun, I am not only the moon, but I am the sun's rays and the moon's rays, and whatever benefit we get from them. I am the heat, I am the light, I am the nutritive value, I am the food aspect in all the food that we consume. Everything I am is what the Lord is saying over here. So therefore he becomes the light of all lights. Because if moonlight is so good for us, beneficial for us, the sun's light is so beneficial for us, from where do they get their light? They must be getting their light from one source beyond them. What is it? It is Bhagavan himself. In the 13th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan says, Jyotisham api tajyotihi. I am the light of all lights, beyond darkness, transcending darkness, he said. So light of all lights is the Lord himself, bṛhadbhānurādidēvaḥ. Ādidevaḥ. I think we have gone through the meaning of this earlier. Deva means Lord, Adi means first. First. For everything that is an effect, we can find out a cause. So the cause becomes the first. Now that cause also we can go behind it and then find out its cause. So like that, we are here. What is our cause? Our parents. What was their cause? Our grandparents. What was their cause? Great-grandparents. So we can keep on going back for everything. For the universe, what was the cause? Ultimate cause. The moola, we have to trace it back to the roots. Adi means the first capital F or capital F, I, R, S, T, all capital double underline. So who the first cause or the primary cause or the first source for everything? Bhagavan. Therefore we say Adideva he is. He is the first cause. For everything he is the cause. Whatever is there outside of us, inside of us, gross, subtle, can be seen, can't be seen. So yes, gross, subtle, external, internal, higher lokas, lower low, everything has got a cause. And who is it? It's all only one cause over there. And that one cause is Bhagavan himself. That is why Adideva. When Gajendra Moksha, when that elephant was caught by the crocodile and then it tried to get out of the clutches of the crocodile by itself, put in its own effort, couldn't. Finally it surrendered to the Lord. I did all my effort, I put in all my effort, but I cannot come out of the clutches of the crocodile. Now Lord, you alone. Total surrender. Adi Moola, it called out. Gajendra Moksha, that prayer is there, very beautiful. The significance of these little incidents that are there in Puran. Adi Moola. Both mean, it's like saying cause. Adi means, yes, Moola means cause, Adi means first. Hey, oh, Adi Moola, it starts like that. The Gajendra's prayer or Gajendra's stuti starts like that. So Adideva, purandharaḥ, we will just see the word meaning and we will have to go into the significance which we will take up in the next class. Purandharaḥ means, Pura means city. So Purandharaḥ means one who completely destroyed the cities. Who is the one who destroyed the city? First of all, whenever a spiritual seeker is sitting down for to realize and enter into the state of enlightenment, he has to transcend the cities in which he is right now embodied in. So body, mind, intellect, all of them are cities. So in this 3 cities, body, mind, intellect, one fitting into the other. So 3 cities are there. Inside that we are there. And we feel suffocated, we feel bound, we feel caught up. So therefore, mukti, moksha, freedom from identification with the 3 cities. So mukti and moksha is all about transcending these 3 cities, rising above them, disengaging with or disidentifying with the 3 cities. Not that they should be dropped in the sense of we should die, physical death. We are not meaning that at all. Living in the 3 cities, we should be able to disidentify with, disengage with, disconnect with, or transcend these 3 cities. Asangoham, 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 punah punah. So therefore, who is the one who will help us to transcend these 3 cities and move from the state of mortality to the state of immortality? Lord himself. Why he is the only one who is capable of destroying, means who is the only one who can help us to transcend these 3 cities or these 3 equipment and move from the state of immortality, from samsara to that parandham state, wherein having reached it, we will not come back again. Only the Lord. We can say all effort, they say, is only up to a certain point. After that, the higher has to come and overwhelm us, overwhelm the person in the seat of meditation, and then only he becomes a Jivan Mukta. So the last bit is not our effort, is not the seeker's effort, it is the higher descending onto or overwhelming him. So that's the meaning of destroying. So he is the one who comes and destroys. He has to come and destroy the ego in us. We can't try. I will destroy my ego, I will destroy my ego. I will destroy my ego itself is the ego talking about its own destruction, not possible. So finally, it can be done only with the Lord's grace, only with the grace of the higher. In that sense, Purandharaḥ, one who completely destroyed the cities. Cities mean the wrappings or the equipment which seemingly bind us, which seemingly limit us, which seemingly condition us. This has been very beautifully given to us in the form of a incident, story form. It is Tripura Samhara. Lord Shiva comes in over there. So we are told he is the one who destroyed those 3 cities. A beautiful story over there. There is a significance behind it. Just as we went through the significance of Vamana Avatara, similarly here also there is a beautiful significance between Tripura Samhara. That's what is meant by Purandharaḥ, one who destroyed the 3 cities. So Purandharaḥ also means Lord Shiva over here, because Lord Shiva is the one who destroyed the 3 cities. And also we will see what is the significance of that beautiful story which we read in the Puranas. Purandharaḥ, the direct meaning we have seen. Pura means city. So Purandharaḥ means one who destroyed the cities. So therefore here Lord Shiva is being referred to. He is the one who destroyed the 3 cities. That is why he is known as Tripura Samhara story, we are all very familiar with. So the story part I am not going to go, briefly, and then the story, and then we will see the significance of what Tripura Samhara means for all of us. The 3 Rakshasas, they went and performed penance because they wanted boons from Lord Brahma, and so three of them were Rakshasa brothers they were. And when Lord appeared in front of them, he asked, what do you want? Of course, they all wanted immortality. They didn't want death. Therefore, the Lord said, that is not possible, because one who has been born has to die one day. Ask for something else. So all the 3 of them consulted with each other. They thought they were very smart. And they thought they will ask for something wherein the boon of immortality will be hidden in it. So therefore they asked the Lord, we want 3 cities, in which of course they will be residing in, huge cities, and it should have forts. So fort city, actually 3 of them, one will be made of gold, one will be made of silver, and one will be made of iron. And all of them, since they are flying, they will be flying in space. And they said, we will always be flying. Therefore, one will be up, one will be down, somewhere the third will be somewhere in between. Therefore, it's not possible that they always will be in a line. But then they said, after 1,000 years, this is what they asked Brahma. After 1,000 years, once in every 1,000 years, we will align ourselves. And when we have aligned ourselves, that means when we have come in one line, all the 3 of them, all the 3 cities, at that point of time, when we have aligned ourselves and we are in one straight line, if anybody can, with one arrow, destroy the 3 cities, that should be the end of all of us. So Lord Brahma agreed and said, Tatastu, and he went. So they thought, now we are invincible. So 3 cities, flying cities, made of gold, made of silver, made of iron, all of them, and they again planned among themselves that for a fraction of a second, once in 1,000 years, they will align themselves and come in one straight line. Let us see what the gods will do. So they always have to be aware, watching over when these 3 cities will come in one line, and at that point of time, in a fraction of a second, if anybody can discharge a weapon or an arrow, only then their destruction is possible. Therefore, they thought they were invincible, and then as usual they went about creating havoc everywhere in all the worlds. Therefore, everybody ran to Lord Shiva and then asked him that you must somehow or the other manage these, destroy these Rakshasas. He said, don't worry. So we are told Lord Shiva was waiting, watching. So when we are watching, we have to be extremely vigilant, extremely alert, because when the 3 of them will align, who knows? And that too, they will come together in one straight line only for a fraction of a second. So everything has to be ready. Bow has to be ready, arrow has to be ready, everything. This beautiful story is there in our Puranas. What constituted the chariot and who is the charioteer over there, what made up the wheels of the chariot, etc. And then who created the chariot for Lord Shiva to sit in the chariot, what became the bow, what was the arrow and all. So Lord Shiva was sitting in the chariot waiting for these 3 to come in one line. So it shows to us how alert and how vigilant Lord Shiva was. He was just waiting. And once when the 3 cities, these 3 Rakshasas came in one line, in one straight line, when the 3 cities aligned themselves, Lord Shiva discharged the arrow. It went through all the 3 cities and burnt them up, reduced all the 3 cities to ashes. Of course, the Rakshasas also were reduced to ash. And then we are told Bhagavan was so happy, and of course all the devatas were all very, very happy. So they showered praises on him, glorified him, and he is supposed to have done his Tandava Nritya. It is called Tripura Samhara Tandava Nritya. So he did his Nritya. And this is the story. And the ash that was lying over there, because he has reduced, destroyed all the 3, burnt all the 3 cities and reduced them into ash, that ash itself he is supposed to have adorned himself with and then danced over them. This is the story. Now what is the significance of it? Pura means a city. So one who is residing in a city is called as Pura Ka Isha. That is why Purusha. Purusha doesn't mean male, as a contrast to feminine. We are not talking gender over here at all. All of us are Purushas only in the sense there is a Lord Isha residing in the city. Which city is he residing in? There are 3 cities packed one into the other. The body city, the mind city, and the intellect. All the 3 of them are cities by themselves. City is somewhere where we are doing transaction. So with our body we transact, with our mind we transact, with our intellect we are transacting. Such a big world by itself, our world of emotions, mind, our world of thoughts, idea, value, desire, intellect, and of course a world of actions in which we are constantly engaged in, the body. So 3 cities over there: body, mind and intellect. All of them are playing about at different levels. Intellect is not the mind is not the body is not these two. So it's going on. Never ever, when as we are individual human beings, when we are doing our transaction in the world outside or within ourselves also, when we are sitting down and thinking of something, whatever it is, most of the time we are off balance. Off balance means all the 3 cities are not in one line. This is with respect to cities. Now we again coming only to the mind also, that what do the 3 cities represent? They represent body, mind, intellect, equipment. They also represent all the 3 groups, the groups which where there are 3. The 3 cities represent past, present and future. We have a past world, past city in which we were all engaged in. Now we are in a present city. And there is of course a future city for us. So 3 realms of time are also referred to as 3 cities. The 3 gunas which we are all going through: Sattva guna, Rajo guna and Tamo guna. The entire 14th chapter, Bhagavan talks about these 3 gunas. And he says, when Sattva is on top, the other 2 are down. When Rajasin is on top, Sattva and Tamas are down. Doesn't mean they are equal. So he says one comes up and then there is all the 3 of them are in at different levels, let us say, within us. So again, Sattva, we are in a Sattvic world, there is a Sattvic world in us, there is a Rajasic world in us, and there is a Tamasic world in us. According to the gunas, so according to that, we also become Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic, 3. So the 3 cities represent the 3 gunas. They represent our 3 equipment. They represent the 3 realms of time, periods of time. They also represent our waking state, dream state and deep sleep state. The 3 avasthas in which we are all transacting and we are all doing vyavahar. So all of them put together is we, such a huge complex we are. A complicated complex. Where is balance? There is never any balance at all. Everything is okay, still we will say, I don't know, something is worrying me, something is bothering me, something is disturbing me. It can be a disturbance. Or when we are very happy, success has come, achievement has come, that also is taking, if this is down, that is up. So both are out of balance only. We say she is flying in the 9th cloud, she hit the clouds, etc., which means we are off balance. So even when we are very happy, we are off balance. When we are very sad, in grief, in sorrow, also we are off balance. Never ever are we balanced. That is why in the 2nd chapter, Krishna says, Samatvam yoga uchyate. If you can bring that state of equanimity in yourself with respect to all these, you are a yogi, he says. It's as he makes it so simple for us. But when we try to do something only, then we will know how difficult it is. So therefore, Lord Shiva over there represents a spiritual seeker. All of that is supposed to be within us. Shiva is inside us, bow and arrow is inside us, the 3 cities also we are. So that whole entire incident that has been dramatized and picturized in the Puranas is nothing but our inner journey. So a spiritual seeker wants to attain balance. Samatvam yoga uchyate. If he can bring about a balance within himself and enter into that state of neutral equilibrium, that itself is the state of enlightenment, mukti, moksha. So he is waiting and waiting and waiting in the seat of meditation, wanting to attain that state. When will that happen? When all these 3 are in one line. How to bring that balance? That is what we are calling as our spiritual sadhana. Whatever path we are following, bhakti, karma, jnana, dhyana, any path. What is it that we are trying to achieve? We are trying to bring in a balance within ourselves, which is in other words mentioned as transcending. Both mean the same. Either we say by bringing in a balance, or we say transcending. So transcending the three equipment, transcending the three gunas and going into the state of nirgunatva, transcending the periods of time, going beyond kalatitaha, transcending the avasthas, the jagrat avastha, the swapna avastha, and the deep sleep avastha, and then entering into that fourth state of God consciousness. So we can use the word transcending, or we can use the word bringing in a balance. So therefore the seeker is sitting in the seat of meditation trying to do this only. So the whole thing has been dramatized for us outside. When will happen? When the seeker sadhana progresses, slowly, it becomes more and more intense within himself. There's nothing for us to do outside of ourselves. At some point of time, mukti happens, moksha happens, enlightenment happens. It can never, we can't fix up a date and a time for that at all. It happens, that's it. When that happens, that is depicted as Lord Shiva releasing the arrow. When he releases the arrow, everything gets burned. Everything gets burned doesn't mean in our seat of meditation somebody is going to light a fire or burn up our equipment will get burnt in the literal sense. It doesn't mean that at all. We have transcended. The seeker has transcended all these tri-groups, tri-groups, and reached that state beyond all this. And that state is called as the moksha state, or the mukti state, or the nirvana state, or the state of enlightenment. And we are told everything. And what did he do when the arrow was released? Obviously it must be a fiery arrow of fire, because the cities got burnt. We always liken knowledge to fire, the fire of knowledge. And what knowledge is it? This is spiritual knowledge. What the teachers have given to us, and they tell us to sit down in our seat of meditation and contemplate on. So the arrow which was released is nothing but the fire of knowledge. In the fire of knowledge, what happens? Everything gets transcended, or we can say everything gets burnt, because fire burns. So in the knowledge, in the light of spiritual knowledge, everything gets transcended. And in simple words, we can say in the fire, everything got burned. When everything gets burned, whatever it is, gold city, silver city, or the iron city, all of them changed into ash. And in the ash, we can't segregate and say this ash is from the gold city, this ash is from the silver one, this is from the iron. We can't do that at all. Or this is with reference to the body or the mind or the intellect, or this is with regard to past, present, future, nothing. Ash is ash, uniformly one it is. So the ash represents oneness, one without a second state. They call it as the Kevala state or the Kaivalya state, Kaivalya Pada, one without the Advaita state, in which our masters are reveling, and we call them Jivan Muktas. So the ash over there represents that highest state of liberation, which Lord Shiva adorns himself with. He's supposed to have smeared himself with that ash and then dance. When do we dance? When we are happy. So he represents for us the blissful state of realization, and therefore he is doing his Tandava. After having accomplished this Tripura Samhara. Not that a person, when they realize, will get up and start dancing. This is going on inside. The music and the dance of realization is happening within himself. Nandati Nandati Nandatyeva in Bhajagovindam. Yogaratova put him anywhere, a Jivan Mukta. Let him be in the midst of people, or let him be in solitude. Let him be in the marketplace, or let him be in the caves of the Himalayas. Let him be living a luxurious life, or let him be living a life where nothing is available for him, including the next food. The next food, lunch or the dinner, that day is not available for him. But he who has realized, he alone is reveling and reveling and reveling where? Within himself. That's the meaning of Ananda Tandava there. Tripura Samhara, after that is accomplished, he danced, and he danced with the vibhuti on himself. The vibhuti represents, which means the person who was till now identified with nama, rupa, guna, kriya. Name was there, form was there, qualities were there. He or she was attributed with some activities. That person who sat down over there to do meditation, a spiritual seeker, is no more now there. He has realized and become that one without a second. He has become. So that is what is the higher state has overwhelmed him. He can't walk into the higher state. Gurudev used to say, you can't walk into it. Just like we can't walk into sleep. We are feeling sleepy. We can't say, I'm going to walk into sleep. If we keep on desiring for sleep will never come. So we have to make some adjustments around us and about us, inside us and outside us, and then just invoke sleep. Sleep will come and overwhelm us. She will come from outside and inside and embrace us, pervade and permeate us, so that we would have fallen off to sleep. That's why we can never ever say at this hour, this minute, this second, I fell off to sleep. We can't do that. So the sleep state comes and overwhelms us, and we do not know when we went off to sleep. Similarly, the higher state comes and overwhelms them. And that is represented by the vibhuti on him, the bhasma on him. Bhasma is also called vibhuti. Bhuti means glory. Vibhuti, visheshena glory. Because so many of us have so many glories around us and about us. I did this, I am qualified for that, I do this, I am rich, I am poor, whatever it is. I work over here, I have made this much of property, all our glories. But this is a different sort of a glory altogether. It is vibhuti. So that bhasma is also called as vibhuti. What is Shiva's ornament? What is Shiva's glory? Shiva's glory, Lord's glory is nothing but to be reveling in that higher state always. He is always in that state. He is represented by this very beautiful Tripura Samhara. It comes in the Puranas. Bhagavan is identifying himself with our purandharaḥ, one who destroyed the 3 cities. So actually everything must be happening subjectively in us. All that should happen subjectively in us has been put out there in front of us as beautiful stories. So entire inner spiritual pilgrimage has been put out there in the form of stories, in the form of rituals for us, so that it becomes easy.